HuntChef wild flavor, venison, seared in bacon fat. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna like that a lot. HuntChef Nation, welcome to the fastest and most delicious hour of wild game on that there internet. This is HuntChef Live, baby. So tonight we've got a really easy, straightforward recipe for some venison backstrap chops that you can replicate with waterfowl, chicken, pork, whatever you've got at the house. But this it's been in the freezer since last season, so the rib meat and sinew looks a little rough here, but beautiful. Not a big deer, but beautiful backstrap loin. We're gonna clean this up a little bit. We've got I cheated. We've got an IQF, one of those bags of frozen veggies, mixture of orange and yellow carrots, parsnips, and beets. And just wait to see what we do with those. Then, yeah, I got some bacon, and that's going in our rough mashed potatoes here tonight. We've got 5 of the wild flavor seasonings going on, a little bit of everything. And we're gonna make a drizzle with our locked and loaded. There's a pile of soy sauce in here. We're gonna give it even more for just a saltier, richer bite to back up that smoke with the bacon and the crispy char that we're gonna put on the venison. Say all that 10 times fast. So to get started, we'll actually probably light our potato water real quick. There we go. Chunk up some taters here in a second, Matt. This is coming later. I told you it's gonna be a rough mash. We'll do that with the old HuntChef Battle Axe cleaver. The knife that never takes no for an answer. If you don't have one at your house, what in the world are you waiting for? You can find yours at huntchef.com. We've got the awesome laser engraving on that hand finished edge. And of course it comes with the awesome leather sheath. So HuntChef Battle Axe cleavers, get yours. Let me get these taters in there, so we're not standing around twiddling our thumbs waiting on those later. I always put salt in my potato water, but tonight we're seasoning our, wrong one, there we go. We're seasoning our potatoes while they cook with the one and only HuntChef Feather Duster, our version of the greatest seasoned salt on planet Earth. And yes, we're going with the big, no, we'll go with the small one, because we're gonna load up, get them seasoned while they cook, and then once we mash them, we're gonna add some more. There we go. Next thing we wanna do is a couple deer hairs. Clean up this little venison rack. So we'll give you another, so we just use the battle axe and just some big chopping stuff, but just to make sure you know that it's cutting right through the silver skin too. But you can peel tenderloin, the backstrap, or anything else. Super easy and clean. So there's a couple different ways. Depends on how concerned you are about having any meat or silver skin on the rib bones. Because this stuff, it's not like it's bad, but it's just not going to be tender by the time we get our loin cooked. So I'm just going to kind of peel it down the top of the bones, get some of the thicker cover stuff off. Now from here, you can do a couple of different things. You can get a little knife and you could come down, because again, not very big deer. You can come down the inside, it won't stay. Just got to get the big knife back out, Matt. I tell you, when I say this stuff is slippery, it's like goose snot. I don't know what the heck is going on here. But anyhow, I'm doing this because it's going to make it easier to peel off. So, and from there, if you've broken through at the end, you kind of push back on the bones. You find where you missed cutting through these bones. I didn't realize I was going to be faced with this much difficulty, Matt. Live and unscripted, people. And as rough as these bones are, it looks like I might have just hacked them off with the battle axe. But see how nice and clean they come out though, after you get done with all that messing around. A lot of people will just go down between them and back up with the knife and leave some meat on, which is absolutely fine. You do you. Nobody's judging. As long as it tastes good, right, Matt? Ta-da! See, I told you they were teeny tiny little bones. Damn near like quail bones here. Now that we got that all cleaned up, I want to get, what did I say? 10 ring and Big Sexy. We're gonna make a crust. Let it sit for a while because you can imagine in the cast iron here, it's not gonna take very long. Where did I get the hiccups from? What the hell is that about, Matt? But I'm powering through my personal distress to get together with you guys one more time this week. So we're gonna let that set on this side and let the meat start to kind of hydrate the seasonings, start to build that crust. In the meantime, you know, I said I had the bacon, and we're just gonna chop this up. And I'm gonna chop it fairly fine, because it's gonna go into our mashed potatoes. Just something to do while we let these guys set and rest here. So you can see this little, because this deer's so small, this is where the loin goes from the ribeye into the strip loin. There's a little chunk of bone there. I'll get rid of that too. So there's just not much here, and I think for that, all the silver skin that's there, we're just gonna peel that guy right off. So this chop's not gonna be as round. It's still gonna be tender and delicious. So now we have just a really clean loin end to end. Now we're gonna work some more of that 10 ring on. Still building that, wanting this to set in there and really get hydrated into the meat to help us crust it up, because we got all the savory in the 10 ring, right? But we're gonna back it up with more savory, a little bit of heat, and that sweet in the Big Sexy beast rub. And I think, well, I know, because I've done it about a bazillion times, these two make an awesome 1-2 punch when you put them together. Obviously fantastic on their own for all kinds of applications, but these guys with that venison, it's gonna be lights out, delicious. I'm gonna look at our taters. We got this, look at this beautiful orange bubbles going there, Matt. We're gonna back the heat down just a little bit. Give the taters a little move around. And yeah, they are on their merry way. So, locked and loaded. If you haven't had a chance to try it yet, I'm gonna age myself here again. I've been making this Carolina mustard sauce since 1993. This is probably, since then, probably version 5.0. I've just tweaked it in small ways over the years, but still true to its core. And the first time that I came across a version of this that I thought I could make even better, it doesn't suck. And it says so right here on the bottom of the label. So I'm not gonna give you all the ingredients, but the main ingredients: yellow mustard, soy sauce, and piles and piles and piles of honey. So, I mean, straight raw amber honey, but the soy is muted enough. It's just a nice backbone for some savory in there, and lots of brown sugar. I told him I wasn't gonna give him any more ingredients. Anyhow, but we're gonna add even more to bring more kind of salt and savory. Everybody talks about umami with soy sauce. So we're just gonna gently heat this. So when we're ready to make our finished platter, it pours nice. And because all the other food's gonna be hot, no sense adding a cold sauce to it. Although oftentimes that's a nice contrast. This is a really fancy whisk that I picked up from some people that I've worked with, and it came from Bora Bora. I'm kidding. It's just a little pot full of stuff, so I didn't need a big whip. So in my mind's eye, this was going to be about 3 shades darker to get the flavor I wanted. You know, because oftentimes I've been doing it so bloody long, I cook by sight as much as I do by feel and taste. So, and that oftentimes doesn't work out great when people are like, so what's the recipe? I'm like, I don't know. So we're gonna get just a wee little, there it is, magic. Wee little flame under that. Don't even forget about that and overcook it and dry it out, okay, man? All right, so we're gonna get a skillet, low medium heat. If you don't have pickled ramps, onions work great. Shallots, you want to pickle, there's a bazillion recipes for pickled red onions on the internet. Those will work out just fine too. Maybe one more. said one. There we go. I think they're going to be a great addition to our veggies here. So we're going to chop these guys up a little bit so that we can, I'm not just a rough chop. I don't want to obliterate them. But they're just so bloody tasty. There's a nice little cross-section look at this wild kind of onion garlic hybrid known as a ramp. Some people call them wild leeks. I call them delicious. And they really are. This is just whole butter mixed with amber honey, okay? That's so good. Super easy, just don't melt your butter. Just get it kind of softened. Add honey to it till you think it's about right. Mix it up. You can do it in your KitchenAid, you can do it in a bowl with a spatula or a fork or a spoon. Doesn't have to be fancy. And it holds at room temperature forever. Anyhow, so this is what we're gonna saute our carrots, turnips, and beets in, and then add the pickled ramps more towards the end. And so we've got the butter, the fat saute, we've got the honey that's already in the butter. That sugar's probably gonna start to caramelize after a while. Maybe we'll start with some whole butter, add this towards the end. Potatoes are doing their thing. A little bit of whole butter getting started here for our saute. And while that's melting, we're gonna get this fire started under that cast iron. Now you can see in that cast iron, that's where I cooked this bacon out earlier. So it's already got plenty of bacon fat in there. That's what the medium we're gonna use to sear, kind of pan roast our venison racking. And you can do it in single chops, you can do it on a grill, you can do it in double chops on a grill in the oven, in a pan. You can put it in a cold smoker for a while, then do it. A zillion ways to go about it. Tonight, like I said at the beginning, easy and straightforward. Carrots, parsnips, and beets. Those beets are already stained and everything, but that's okay. Oh, I just had another idea for these. It's going to go really good with that honey butter and the leeks, I think. We've got some dry sherry that we're going to flame these guys with and deglaze kind of at the end when we add that honey butter in there. Then we're going to be talking. And of course, with the veggies, they're not going to be complete without, we're going to use real damn deal. Yes, our go-to for all fish and seafood, but it's awesome on pork, chicken, veggies, kebabs, rice, and everybody knows Party Fowl. It's amazing on your vegetables, all your sides, rice, potatoes, noodles, makes great gravy, chicken broth kind of flavored. Of course, the star in a redneck ramen dish. So those guys will be going in towards the end. I still want some more soy. Can always add more. Man is in a pain in the butt to try and take it away. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, I turned the damn potatoes off instead of the sauce. Whoops. We're going to actually back that heat and that cast iron down a little bit. And we're going to start working on that sear. Start working on that crust. Oh, where there's sizzle, there's flavor, baby. When you're searing meats like that, I always tell people, don't be afraid. Keep picking them up and putting them down, because as it's searing, what's really happening is that hot metal or a grill, or wherever you're cooking at, in this case metal, it's basically boiling out liquid, you know, juice from the meat. And that pushes all that fat out from under that pressure from the steam. So every time you pick it up, you make sure that you've got contact with the oil between the meat and the pan. And that's going to help you have a better sear every time. These guys are starting to brown up nice. Heat down even a little bit more. I think potatoes done. So we're going to get these guys off the drain before they get too overcooked. Let the other thing dry there a little bit. So honey butter going in. You know what? We're not going to be shy with it either. Okay, so Party Fowl in. Real damn deal, following it up. Looks like a party in a pan already, Matt. So we're just gonna let that keep doing its thing with that honey butter. That glaze is gonna be rock star. We're gonna have a little bit of tang from the vinegar and that sharpness from the ramp. Oh, buddy. Get the goodness of Pondy. Yes, sir. All right. So this guy, oh yeah, talking about cooking by sight and touch. Still on the rare side on the top end. So we're going to keep letting it do its thing. In the meantime, we're going to scoot our potatoes back in the pot. Get them all mashed up. Now, flame much higher. Finishing out our glaze. You can put this in before or after the butter. Come on, light on fire. Light on fire. Do it. Do it. There we go. Everybody say, ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. If you're not having fun, don't do it. Okay. Back to the taters. Bacon. Taters are still good and hot. This could be fresh hot, but it's going in just kind of room temp right now. As little or as much as you want. You could use sausage, some chunked up deer ham, spare ham, whatever you want. And we're only doing butter, no milk or cream. Again, when you do it how you like. We're just rolling with the butter here tonight. We don't want to let that sugar and that big section of beef rub burn. Oh, now that is pretty. And I just killed the heat under there. More feather duster, just like I warned you, going in those taters. We're going to back that feather duster up with some Party Fowl right in there. Again, as little or as much as you want. Pow, 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 pow. Oh, so good. Oh yeah. And you know, we're fatter on this end, thinner on there, so imagine it's even bigger. You're going to have guests that prefer more rare, prefer more done. You'll make everybody happy. And I do have the heat off under it. That's just the residual, kind of starting to let the meat rest, but keeping that crust going underneath. So I set a rough mash, and you can see I'm not going to beat the absolute bejesus out of them. Let's see what we might have here. Those don't suck, by the way. At all, or even a little bit. Okay, those are done. Now, we're going to get our, look at that pretty little rack there, Matt. No bikini needed for that one. I mean, those, let me just kind of plop these out there, Matt. Because they, oh my gosh. Feather duster, Party Fowl, butter, bacon, taters. Doesn't get much better. Those smell so good. I gotta try one. Telling you, stick with us, folks. Super easy. I know I dirtied like 4 pans here tonight, but I'm sure once you have this meal, you won't mind washing them up. Oh, they smell like candy. HuntChef wild flavor, venison, seared in the bacon fat. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna like that a lot. Yep. Eats like butter. Don't hate on people for shooting small deer because they're so damn good. And tender. But getting the most bang for your buck for your tag. The biggest, heaviest. Here, let's see. All right, we're cutting it. So again, we could have done single chops, double chops. See, I told you, skinny end's gonna be more done for the folks that don't like it. On the rare or medium rare side. Oh yeah, nice. See that extra nice rare nub right up by the rib bones? That's another little bonus of cooking them on the bone like that. And I know there's not a lot of bone here, but meat cooked on the bone always has more flavor. Yeah, I mean, a whole roasted bird beats breast or even grilled or sauteed thighs any and every day of the week. So I'm gonna do that. A little stack, try and get a little height out of them here with the bones. Presentation, everybody eats with their eyes. There we go. Get that bone right in the taters. So we're just going to put a little on the plate. I don't want to cover up the cut faces of those beautiful little chops. And we serve the rest of that tasty little sauce for them right on the side. All your friends and family can use as much or as little as they want. And I think I want to just color it up. I want a little bit of big sexy beef rub right on those chops. Just heck, just over everything. You know, and that's one of the neat things that so many folks who are using the HuntChef seasonings have been sharing with me. They just line them up either on a counter where everybody makes their plate for dinner or right on the tables for condiments. And even after they're done cooking, they just shake them. Shake them on, mix them up, just make everything better. Just like that. So again, easy, straightforward, but you know, eating with your eyes, delicious, and I think awesome little dish here. Could be off the bone, could have been duck breast, turkey breast. You can do that with a strip steak, but the easy, rough mashed potatoes, party fowl, and feather duster. You could throw some cheese in there if you wanted to. The carrots, beets, parsnips, and ramps around the back with that honey butter and the sherry. Mwah, all going to come together and support that awesome wild flavor of the venison. Thanks so much for being here. Again, we cannot thank you guys enough. Have a great night. Hunt hard, shoot straight. Get the next generation out in the woods, on the water, in the kitchen. Bring it all full circle, and always eat what you kill. Night, everybody.